Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Wednesday, October 9th, 2019. One of the stories in the headlines today is the storms that are coming to the Northeast United States of America. Winds, heavy rain, and coastal flooding expected. And this is being identified on October 9th. 10/9 like 109. Notice weather equals 109. So does military. And this is who is in control of the weather in this world. It is the military. They've been modifying the weather since the 1950s, admittedly, possibly even longer. And most of the world is completely asleep to these publicly documented and admitted facts by world governments, including the Royal Air Force of the UK and the U.S. military. Again and again, weather warfare by the numbers. And in California today, again, massive power cuts on this day, on Wednesday. Notice October 9th, 2019 is a date with 58 numerology. Power equals 58, so does wind. Massive California power outages may begin early Wednesday. And the reason for this is because of the threat of severe wind. Two California utilities said they may cut power to more than 900,000 customers for days starting after midnight Wednesday morning because of dry winds that could down power lines and cause fires. And of course, you had the massive fires in California last year on November 8th, 118. Paradise, California equals 118. Los Angeles, California equals 118. Los Angeles is also on the 118th meridian. But understand, this is what's going on. Military in control of the weather. The weather being tampered with ritualistically by the Cabal Code. The people who control this world, government, military, media, banks, they are the occult. They are into Kabbalah and other occult knowledge. Kabbalah is why they do things this way. Because the belief in Kabbalah is that God controls the world and made the world with letters and numbers and words. You see, they're playing God. Creating unnecessary chaos, putting unnecessary fear and panic and worry and concern into the world. And why? Because it helps them achieve what they want: control, exploitation of the populace. And all these storms that do destroy, then they make some profit on it because they come in with their banks and they say, oh, we got you. Here's a loan. And we'll charge the taxpayers this much interest. This is how it works. This is how the giant New World Order terrorist organization banking Ponzi scheme operates. If they're not blowing up poor brown people, they're probably, using their weather warfare tools to do what we're now witnessing. And again, great website out there that has a lot of information on weather warfare is geoengineeringwatch.org. I'm just going to play a small clip from his video about what goes on in the skies above that somehow the zombie-like populace is oblivious to. I mean, almost anywhere in the world you can look up and see this going on every single day, but here it is.
What other agendas are the atmospheric spraying programs a part of? The agendas are many. The issue is complex, including over-the-horizon radar enhancement, communications augmentation, weather warfare, and biological testing. Every breath we take contains the toxic fallout from the ongoing climate engineering operations. How long can you hold your breath? Mainstream publications are increasingly being forced to address the question of geoengineering because the climate engineering crimes are now becoming all but impossible to cover up in plain sight. Do your part in the battle to expose and halt the climate engineering insanity. We must reach a critical mass of public awareness. That's the only way forward in this fight. Share credible and verifiable data with those around you. Ask them to do the same.
And as a reminder, we covered it in spring of 2019. The story came out. It was Yale and Harvard. They put forth the idea of aerosol spraying of the atmosphere to block out the sun to reduce global warming. We covered that story spring 2019 when it was breaking news. And we said, look at how they mock the masses. That story from Yale and Harvard said that such a program would be at least 15 years off, but would be relatively inexpensive, that the world governments could spray these aerosol sprays in the sky to reduce sunlight at a rate of about $2 billion per year worldwide. And, to make it seem like that's an idea and it's 15 years off as a joke. This stuff's been going on for decades. And if it only costs $2 billion a year, that would amaze me because, almost anywhere you look up in this world, seemingly the skies are being sprayed. And the reason I know that is because I've been putting out this information for years and everybody's saying the same thing from all over the world. Plus, everywhere I've been in the time that I've been aware of it, I see the same thing. So, I had a guy down in Nevada tell me that he lived in Nevada and he never saw it going down there. It's funny, the first day I was in Nevada, about a year after he told me that, I was like, well, he must not look up at the sky because whole sky's covered. Same thing I see up in Washington State. Same thing I see in Oregon. Same thing I see everywhere I go. So, anyway, it's weather warfare by the numbers. Documented it way too many times. If you haven't read my book, there's a chapter on there on weather warfare by the numbers. Gives you all the historical information you need to know, all the documents, the dates, the places, the names, and a whole lot more. How stuff like this goes on every year, So we'll leave it there. Until next time, Truth Seeker.